This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Welcome to the podcast, guys. Really a special edition of the podcast. I've requested that Fitzy stays out of this intro.
Why? So he doesn't muck it up?
Firstly, I want to thank you once again for your coronation sponge. It was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
No,
I think you tend to call it a Victoria sponge.
Okay, I don't care who
the
made it.
Coronation is the chicken or the egg.
Yeah,
and it relates to the curry.
Well, that's true. The egg curry is it's gone straight through me.
No doubt.
It's really sort of rumbling down below, but that's got nothing to do with the show.
Well, you shouldn't have eaten so much of it.
Whew, Ed Sheeran is what we're talking about on the podcast today. You've met Ed Sheeran. What do you love about Ed Sheeran?
I've never met him in person.
Haven't you?
But I've spoken to him many times.
Have you ever met King Charles?
I haven't met King Charles.
That's interesting.
I met Prince Charles.
Well, yes, and he's now king. So that story on the podcast.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Brian Rapley, can we talk about poor Brian? He is page 6 of the Daily Telegraph today.
Brian.
He's turned up to Sophie Monk's house holding a single rose, claiming that he was duped by an online scammer, believing that he was in relationship with Sophie Monk. Poor Brian.
Yeah, it's a stretch. I've had a look at Brian, and the appearance of Sophie Monk to the appearance of Brian.
Yeah, but you know what? When you're on the
quite different.
computer, mate... Okay, so let's go through it. In January this year, Brian Rapley commented on a photograph on Sophie Monk's official Instagram account.
Okay.
A few days later, he receives a private message on Instagram from an account called Sophie Monk. But he probably didn't do his research and realise that there's only 18 people following Sophie Monk on that page. So the message wrote, "Hey, it's Sophie here. Can you chat with me on this page? My manager reads my official account, so this page is way better."
Okay.
The pair chat on Instagram, private messages for several months. Mr. Rapley ends up giving Sophie $7,000 over 4 months through Amazon gift cards. As if Sophie Monk is asking someone, hey, can you buy me some Amazon gift cards?
I mean, a quick search. I mean, if this guy then, it sounds like he became besotted with Sophie Monk. So he would have been looking at images. He would have been Googling her name. The headlines would have read, Sophie Monk married. So, she has a boyfriend. She now has a husband. How did he possibly think, out of nowhere, Sophie Monk has fallen in love with a guy online?
Well, Brian's a father of two as well. He should have known this.
I know parenthood can do your head in, Brian, but not this far.
Then the catfish invites Brian Rapley to her house. The scary thing about this is that the catfisher actually found out about where she lived.
Right.
Her exact address.
Oh, my God.
On the Central Coast. And Brian rocked up at 7:30 a.m, arranged time, with a red rose in his hand. He's knocking on the door, and I'm not joking, Whip. Sophie! Sophie!
Not funny.
No one come to the door because you know what? This is where it gets a little bit weirder.
She wants all her dates to start at 7:30 in the morning.
You know what's the weird thing? She's up in Queensland filming Zombie Plane with Vanilla Ice.
And all of a sudden, one of the zombies arrives at the front door. I mean, how weird's your life, Sophie Monk?
So poor Brian...
This guy looks like a zombie.
So poor Brian... Sophie!
I'm here.
He leaves. He comes back... He gets messages, where were you? They write back and say, as Sophie Monk going, I was asleep, sorry, come back. He comes back in the afternoon. He's knocking again, and then they call police. All the neighbours could hear him. They call police. He said five cop cars rocked up, and I was like, hey, what's going on? I'm here to see my girlfriend.
Yeah, I got a rose here.
Then, the other thing as well, I feel sorry for him because all the cop stuff went on and he's showing the Daily Telegraph all his text messages from so-called Sophie Monk.
Yeah.
And she's writing stuff like, I hope to hear from you soon, Brian. I hope you're okay. And he said, yeah, I'm here. Then she says, okay, babe, I went to the police station, didn't meet the DPO, but I was asked to come in today to take down the AVO against you, and then we're good to go. Brian writes back, are you serious? Thanks, and please let me know when that's done.
Oh,
He's
Brian,
been sucked in again.
Let it go, mate. When the police and the dogs arrive, that's probably when you should have known. Is Brian going to make it on Love Island?
Do you know, Brian needs to be in Zombie Plane somehow as an extra.
Can
you
we
don't need to be on
organise-
set with Sophie.
Was it be wrong to organise Brian to meet Sophie, Tom?
No, that you can't.
Would Brian want to do traffic dating?
Oh,
No, you can't do that.
or hide and sing. Maybe he's in the booth.
That's not bad.
It's disappointing that Brian, I don't know what's going through his mind when you've purchased your $7,000 worth of Amazon gift cards and
Yeah.
you go, well, I don't know if I've got the money for this. I don't think I've got this in my bank account.
Sophie, can I have those Amazon cards back? Is there any chance I could... Where's it gone?
really
Can we try and get Sophie Monk on the show, Tommy?
Yeah, we will.
I want to find out what she knew at her end.
Nothing beats a cosy winter getaway.
Or escaping to a tropical paradise.
If you're thinking about an early winter escape, whatif.com has just the place.
Check out great accommodation deals across Australia on the What If app.
What if it's Aussie for travel?
Preparations for the coronation continue. And let's cross over to London now. For more breaking news, royal news, you've got to watch Channel 7. This coverage the whole time. And this man, I mean, when we're crossing over to the royals, we thought we had to get someone who is Australian royalty.
Loves a party.
And we thought we'd go with Michael Usher outside Buckingham Palace right now. Mush, welcome!
Yeah, the Prince of reporting. Thank you.
We believe
No.
we believe you're leading the celebration over there. Mush, paint a picture for us. Where are you at?
The conga line of the coronation.
There's a mix of cultures.
Where are you at? What can you see? Tell us about the vibe, because I can't tell you. I am so excited about this.
I'm at the pub right now with a pint. No, I'm not.
Give it half a.
Well, it is 10. What is it? 10 past 10 at night. Fair enough. No, Buckingham Palace, which is quite an eerie sight right now. It's interesting because it's the full moon tonight, and it's glowing right over the facade of Buckingham Palace, which has gone a bit quiet. But the royal standard's flying, which means the king, he's either in there somewhere or he's house just down the road about 200 metres away at Clarence House, because that's where actually he and Camilla live. They don't live in the palace, so they're around here somewhere. But they're getting ready, and I don't know, who knows if they've got last-minute nerves or whatever it is, but they've been out and about all day. It's a funny thing when you stand outside the palace, because you hear tons of people, lots of tourists and crowds, and every now and then there's a whistle. So when
Mush, you there?
band,
Yeah.
as well as their siren, but in the raw, like a VIP escort.
Oh, he's dropping
No,
out.
we're missing him.
Mush,
We're losing him.
just step to your left. You just cut out there a little bit, Mush. You got us?
Put the pint down and go outside.
Oh, no, he's drifted off. It might have been a
I
Royal
think-
Guard, which has muzzled
I
him.
think he may have thrown a couple of shotgun pellets into
He
Buckingham Palace.
might. You know what? While he was talking, Tom,
Did I go all digital, did I?
Oh,
Yeah,
you
you
did.
did,
Yeah,
you
you're
did.
back. You're back, Mush. You're back. So what is the vibe? What's security like there at the moment, Mush? Is it pretty full on?
Tons of security, but there always is in this city. Like, it's craziness left, right and centre with people going around the joint. But you've got all the Commonwealth leaders and VIPs galore. So there's, armoured cars and escorts and, all that kind of stuff. There are helicopters overhead, and there'll be a ton more of it in the next 24 hours. Most of London's still wide open, but they'll start to shuttle those streets down pretty quickly, particularly around the Palace and the Abbey and all those areas where these, the carriages and the gold carriage are, going to do the procession to and from the Abbey. So it'll be something else.
And Mush, do we know if Harry's arrived yet?
Oh, I've lost you again. Say again.
Do we know if Harry's arrived yet?
He's meant to be arriving tonight. If he doesn't get here tonight, then it's a no-go. Like, he won't get here in time to get ready for the whole thing. They say he's coming. I mean, he's locked in, but he'll have to arrive tonight. But it's interesting here, really interesting. Like, the British have completely turned their back on Harry and Meghan. There's not even a, will they, won't they? It's just, we don't care. Huge
right.
sigh of relief, in fact, that she's not coming. It's quite interesting getting to read of that.
Okay.
It is fascinating. We will be watching all weekend, Mush, and I tell you what, unbelievable that they let you back into the country after you got arrested there last time. But we appreciate all your time, Mush.
yeah, we'll be watching on Saturday.
We kept that quiet.
And for more breaking news, watch 7 News at 6 p.m. or Channel 7, 7 Plus. So I can follow it all weekend. Thank you, Mush.
What's exciting too is to think that 4 o'clock tomorrow, when the broadcast starts and people begin celebrating, That is sort of the time most people will, but I believe, Fitzy, we won't have a choice because we're about to start celebrating now. Our Royal in-studio correspondent, Kate Ritchie.
Oh, thank you, guys. It's so nice to be here today. In fact, I was going to take a day off, but I think I've used them all up.
Yes.
Who was, when you were growing up,
Yes.
who were, like, did you ever dream of being a princess? Were you one of those?
Oh, you know what? I actually thought, and I mean, I'm,
Still dreaming?
Fingers crossed, that I would grow up and I would marry Prince William. And don't tell anybody, but one time when I went to the UK to do pantomime,
Awesome.
I wrote to him and asked him to come.
How old were you? How old were you?
I'm not telling you.
Tell me how old you were.
Have you
Were
still
you?
got that?
Hang on. Were you 6-year-old Sally or were you 32-year-old Sally?
I never did panto when I was 32. Just
Okay.
maybe pick
26.
an age in the middle there. But you know what? I know it all starts tomorrow, but I thought we should kick it off today. It's so exciting. I found it really hard. The amount of $2 shops I went to yesterday trying to find memorabilia, I was expecting
Sure.
stuff out the front.
You'd ordered stuff from Harrods?
Absolute zip.
Yeah, no one's really into it, are they?
No, so I have made a few things, but before we do that quickly,
Yeah.
to get into the vibe,
into the mood,
one
yeah.
thing I could find was this
Okay.
for you guys.
All right, what do you got? You got a bag under the desk here. So this is exciting.
And I have crowns for you.
my gosh.
And I know you've had a new haircut.
Got a brand new haircut.
But that's
Well,
for you.
Whipper does say King's here whenever he walks into
Do
a
I
room.
that's-
deserve this honour
That's for you.
of King Whipper?
I'm not
And
go-
there's one for you, Tom, but if you don't want it, it could go to MCT.
MCT.
And then
Can we? I don't give a stuff about crowns.
Oh, hang on
I
a minute.
want food.
I love my
Okay,
crown.
bring it in. So I've made a sponge, classic sponge. It's actually a recipe from my own book.
Look at the curried egg.
Yeah, that's actually Auntie Jill's sponge cake.
You are such a nerd.
No, don't. And you know what? Especially for you, because you poo-pooed it so much on air yesterday, I made the coronation curried egg recipe from 9 Honey.
I love it.
Okay,
As
I'm
a
a-
lover of food, Kate, could you pass one to me, please?
There's plenty in the fridge down the hall for the entire team, but this is the ones that are well presented for Instagram, of course.
Royal curried egg.
It's going to be messy.
I don't care.
This is a healthy version.
Is it? I love.
Sometimes you do it with chicken and potato.
Okay, so what-
Do you need
okay.
a plate?
I don't really know. I'm just going to go for it.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for coming over.
Yeah.
Oh, it feels so special.
We need tea. I was going to do.
Mummy!
There's so many things I didn't
Oh
bring.
God, it's good. It's really good.
Is it? Oh, don't. Are you not a cucumber
Don't
fan?
pull it apart, mate. The cucumber goes well with it.
Don't eat it over the group plate.
Can we play some bagpipes like the Queen would do when she had breakfast in the morning? She would always have her piper on the balcony.
The curry's perfect. It's not too overbearing.
Yeah. Well, it's an actual curry paste that I had to buy from Woolworths yesterday. I was in
You've
such
had a
a
big
panic.
day, mate, haven't you?
Poor May was being dragged from. Oh, I was going to say something else. But yeah, she was being dragged all
thank you.
around
Well done.
to the shops. I've been up baking.
Is this from Cabramatta?
No, not from Cabramatta. This is just from the local area.
Okay.
I mean,
You
I've
can
made a
buy-
bit of a mess. You did right. It's a bit awkward to eat out of the soggy lettuce leaf, but I tell you what, I'm into it.
But you know what? Regardless of what you think, I'm looking at you, Fitzy. Get on board.
Now,
Hey, Tommy,
footy's on tomorrow night.
Where are the
and,
crowns?
I had a moment before where I went, oh my God, something dawned on me. I realised. I realised that home and away.
What a pig.
Ignore the mess. Home
You'd
and away.
never be invited to breakfast.
Home and away was massive in the UK.
Yeah.
There is a strong chance that the royal family would sit down and watch Kate Ritchie on TV growing up.
Yeah.
I
That's
wanna
what I've
know-
told myself.
If there's one thing I do before my radio career ends, it's to find out whether William knows who Kate is. And did he marry the wrong Kate?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. There's our story arc, guys.
Put in the request.
We're going over.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Let's talk about the great man, Ed Sheeran. Brand new album out today, Subtract. We're going to play one of his songs, Curtains, in a moment's time. The doco has also been released. Jess, you watched 3 eps last night. I can't wait to see this. It's called The Sum of It All, and it goes into the very deep personal life of Ed Sheeran. And also, funnily enough, touches on the court case where he had to defend himself last year, I think.
This was his first court case.
Yeah, the
wasn't it?
first court case. Which
So
was,
this was his second one that has just been been completed
That's
overnight.
right. That's right.
Goodness.
I know.
So this one was around the song Shape of You, but he does talk about it on the doco. Have a listen to this.
I work every single day to hone my craft. Like the lawyer that was going at me, it's like, I can't believe you wrote a song in half an hour. And I'm like, well, you can pick up a case file the day before a trial, skim it, and then nail the trial. So why can't you believe that I can't do... Like, you work hard at your job.
How's that? There were a lawyer questioning him over whether he could write a song in half an hour.
Can you imagine him being interrogated? Like, you don't think of it like that in the courtroom on the day.
You're questioning the skill
Bloody
over the actual product.
Guess what they
Tell
do?
you what,
they do.
what's the bet? The lawyer at the end of that case would have asked for a couple of free tickets.
Yeah. Any chance I could come backstage with my kids?
Sign this T-shirt.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, you grub.
Actually reminds me I've got to pay my lawyer.
You do. It's an expensive fee. But you kept out, mate, so well done. If you're not up to speed with the findings this morning, Ed Sheeran has been found not guilty of plagiarism, which, of course, we all celebrate because he came out and said that if I am found guilty, then I will never perform again. I will leave the music industry. I will never write. That is it. Done, dusted, forget about it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he sounds angry. He's extremely frustrated that people have gone to such depths to question his craft and what he does. So after being found not guilty, this is Ed Sheeran on the steps outside the courtroom this morning.
I'm obviously very happy with the outcome of the case, and it looks like I'm not having to retire from my day job after all. But at the same time, I'm unbelievably frustrated that baseless claims like this are allowed to go to court at all. We've spent the last 8 years talking about 2 songs with dramatically different lyrics, melodies, and 4 chords which are also different and used by songwriters every day all over the world. I'm just a guy with a guitar who loves writing music for people to enjoy. I am not and will never allow myself to be a piggy bank for anyone to shake. Having to be in New York for this trial has meant that I've missed being with my family at my grandmother's funeral in Ireland, and I will never get that time back.
Like, that hurts.
It hurts.
Like, he's in court and he's missed that. And that'll stink forever
He
with Ed
sounds
Sheeran.
angry, doesn't he?
and so he should be.
Absolutely, he
Can
should
I just
be.
say, though, there's probably another album out of it.
You reckon?
Yeah, he's angry.
It's not Taylor Swift.
No, but
Not
when
guilty.
they write their best when they're angry, Kate. You know
Do
what I mean?
they?
Yeah, it's like you cook when you're angry.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean? I just can see that behind you with
No,
your sponge
I
cake.
cook to show love.
You do. You try and reverse all
Well,
the anger
why
of the
does-
world
why
through
does the-
sponge cake.
Why does the cake look so angry?
It doesn't. I can't wait to rip into that cake. I've done your carrot egg and I'll smash that cake.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
One of my favourite podcasts, as you know, outside of this show, Fitz, is Call Her Daddy by Alex Cooper. Never missed an episode. I know you're a big fan as well. You write into the podcast and ask you for further information. Gwyneth Paltrow, she has been on Call Her Daddy, the name of the podcast if you've just tuned in, and she has been asked to compare a couple of her lovers in a rapid-fire round of questions. She gives an answer which I think needs some further explanation. We don't have that, so you and I might be able to break down exactly what that means. Have a listen.
Okay, we're gonna play a game. Brad or Ben? Who were you more likely to get into an argument with? Make you laugh. Who was more romantic? Better kisser. Who was better in bed?
Brad was like the sort of major chemistry love of your life, and then like Ben was like technically excellent.
Technically excellent.
What technically in the bedroom? What does that mean?
What does that mean?
I don't mean you're doing everything right. Technically, you're A-OK. I mean, A-OK's not in the bedroom.
No, Andrew O'Keefe. That's a different topic altogether, mate. I didn't think we'd end up there.
Jeez, that's a big night out. How did I end up here?
Key, who works on the show, is suggesting that maybe by saying technically perfect is that he was quite the gent downstairs.
Right. Or
she's holding her hands out like this going,
no,
what a piece.
Whoa. Well, technically, is that... I mean, we have techs here at Nova.
No.
Is that to do with...
Nothing to do with...
digital and
Nope.
is there...
Nope. I would suggest he ticked all the boxes.
Yeah,
So-
but lacked a bit of passion.
Yeah, I
perhaps.
would
That's
suggest
how I
there was
took
no
it.
rose, there was no whisper, there was no hold afterwards.
functional.
Functional, almost transactional, you might say, MDG.
Transactional?
Yeah.
What, you're paying for it?
Well, I got what you wanted, you got what you wanted type thing. Where Brad Pitt, he would have turned up in the right shirt with the right fragrance on in sort of a convertible car that skidded to a halt out the
He
front.
doesn't wear deodorant.
Well, okay. And then he knocks on the door and he's sort of leaning against some giant arch that she'd have at the house. And then he'd say, I've been waiting here for days for you.
This is obviously a dream that you've had because you have no idea what Brad Pitt would
And then
be like.
Brad walks in and almost dances around her for a while she smells his scent before they both fall in love and realise there's no way of stopping this passion at this moment in time.
What's the one image that you have of Brad Pitt, everybody?
Well, I think
Throw it
you
at me.
just heard whips.
Yeah,
Well, for me, it's on the roof of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, you
Tommy.
like that, didn't
is
you?
Is there something there? Or is there Fight Club?
Fight
you
Club
know?
for me.
Fight
He's
Club?
standing there. He's bruised in one eye. It's almost closed.
You know what I can't get out of my head? One of his first big roles, which was Thelma and Louise, as a young Brad Pitt. Remember that one?
I don't remember that.
As a cowboy.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Brad and Troy running along the sand,
Yes.
long hair, shirt off.
Yeah.
Oh.
Before killing Eric Banner.
Heaven.
Legends of the Fall was pretty good as well. He was so hot. We need Kate Ritchie for this, though.
What about the photos? She's too interested in the coronation. What about the photos that were taken, which I was disgusted with? Long lens shots that were snapped of Brad and Gwyneth by the pool that time, and they were completely nude. So that I think that would have taken place after he'd arrived in the convertible and danced around her for a while. But they were naked.
Yeah.
Not even sunscreen on.
And Ben wouldn't be into any of that.
No, he wouldn't, because he doesn't smile.
Rubbish chat.
He's never smiled.
No,
He would have
he's
said,
not
"Yeah, I'll
happy.
do it if you want to do it," and then he would have left because he had to get to the pub to tell the boys all about it.
Do you know what?
You know
You
what I
can
mean?
bag Ben Affleck as all you want.
I will, mate.
But he's won Oscars
No.
for Good Will Hunting. He's an amazing actor. He's directed some of the biggest movies and won
Yeah.
Oscars for that as well. He's with J-Lo currently. He's been with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yep.
The
And
guys, what's the Anna Demeric?
Anna de Armas.
Oh,
That's
Anna
a friend
Diarmas.
of mine.
Functional is what he is.
That's a mate of mine I used to
your
live with.
friend.
I didn't know she'd hooked up with him
she's
as
hooked
well.
up with him as well. Ben Affleck's doing all right. He's doing all
Then
right.
why don't you smile, Ben?
Well, he
Why
doesn't
won't
want
you
Because
smile?
he knows that PISS's you off.
Oh,
and that's why
man.
he will not smile.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
But Lauren, can you think of a highlight for Tommy on his last day?
I have to say that the highlight for him, can he just stop actually have his last day, because the kids at school have caught on to this joke and because they must listen on the way to school with their parents, whatever, because at school all these random kids keep coming up going, "Sorry, it's your last day, miss," and I go, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about?"
The joke's on you.
And on.
Oh, that's good.
The joke's taken off.
If Lauren's your teacher, keep the joke going.
Well done, Lauren. And you've had a stellar career at that school,
Well
and we
done,
hope
Lauren.
you
So
keep
grateful for you and wish you all the very best.
All right, let's play riddle time. Okay, guys, a riddle time. You know how this works. We're streaming live on the Fitzy and Whipper Facebook page.
Oh, are we?
So make sure you're smiling. 3 great riddles at 13, 24, 10. If you want to have a crack at it as well, feel free to play along. Here we go. The first riddle. Quite easy today. I have no legs, and yet I run. I have no mouth.
Flop.
River.
No, and yet I speak. I'm not a house, but I have windows. What am I?
Phone.
Nope.
Soul.
Nope.
Window to the soul, good one.
Thanks, Kate.
I mean, they're all
Nearest
they're
to
all
the pin.
correct.
No, they're not. Nearest to the pin is Ryan James at this stage.
Damn.
Nope.
Clock.
Nope. I have no legs, and yet I run. I have no mouth, and yet I speak. I'm not a house, but I have windows.
Not the time. Or
What am I?
Tide. Did you say tide?
No, I said time.
Time, no. Not time.
It's water-based.
No, it's not.
What did you say?
I said a clock
No.
or a phone.
Did you? You use it every day.
Batteries.
There's a truckload of them sitting in front of us here.
Phones.
Nope.
Television screen.
Computer. Bye.
Kate. That was
Kate Ritchie, was that you?
point. Yeah, of
Could
course.
have been a
yes,
phone.
it was.
Well, it's not a phone. That's not the answer. You got to understand. How long have we been playing this game? Okay, Kate, you normally celebrate when you get one right. I'm giving you the first point to you, so let's be a little bit more excited about Riddle Time. You've only done it 3 times, so keep the energy high. Okay, what about this one? You can free me, have half a one, but you don't want to lose me. What is it?
A willy?
Willy. I was going to say free the Willy.
And have half a one.
Do you two want to go and giggle in the corner for a while? School children?
Well, you said keep the vibe up.
Yeah, can you not keep it smutty though, Kate? Like, that's what I don't want in this show.
Oh, no, I know.
You
That's
always
me all
take it
over,
free
isn't it?
me.
Yeah.
Always take it to Dirt Town.
Free me, you can have half a one.
But you don't want to lose.
Is it a mongrel?
Oh, what a pity.
Oh, it's coronation
mongrel dog.
tomorrow, mate. Clean it up.
You can free it.
Oh,
Well, you
man.
can free a mongrel like that if you
not-
let the dog go.
It's
I
not
know,
a mongrel.
can be
It's
dangerous.
half a dog. Yeah, well,
It's
two
not.
dogs, half a dog.
It's not a dog and it's not a mongrel. You can free it, you can have half a one. you don't want to lose it. Ba, 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 ba,
Free
ba.
it.
What is it?
What are you free?
Wish I could free myself
Have
from this
half a
segment.
one. You can have half a one.
Yeah, it's more of an expression.
Is it a husband?
No.
Half a husband.
Perhaps a clue. Is there a clue there where... or not really?
It's not a mongrel.
Okay. Good clue.
Half a quarter. And what's the
It's
last?
it's within you.
Your soul.
Oh, no.
A thought.
No. What's your thought come from?
Oh, your
My
mind.
brain.
Your
Yeah,
mind.
mind. Yeah, your mind is what we needed. Is your brain
Say
your
that?
mind?
Is that your point?
Well, Brenda on Facebook said it as well. Brenda Winter, she said your mind.
Really, Brenda?
Yeah.
Your
Brenda.
mind.
Yeah, we do, because Kate wanted the points. Here we go.
Is it my point?
Yeah, you can take it. Oh, good. I love it when you're acting. Here we go. And cut.
Oh, I do it from 7.
Okay, here we go. From 7. The police are looking for Dangerous Daniel. They know his address, but they have no images or physical description of Dangerous Daniel. Kicking in the door, they see a soldier, a trucker and a firefighter. Without any words being spoken or any investigation, the police immediately arrest the firefighter, certain that he is Dangerous Daniel. How?
I mean,
How do they know it's Dangerous Daniel?
Daniel written on his
No.
Daniel in a dress.
No.
No. And what are the 3 occupations?
A soldier, a trucker, truck driver, and a firefighter.
this is the first time you've actually... this is quite a good riddle. It's a real riddle.
They
about
walk
it.
into a bar together?
No, that's a standard joke. This is a riddle.
What is the policeman Daniel's boyfriend?
No.
Is Kate in the right area?
Sort of.
Dangerous. He's got a dangerous job?
No. No tying to danger. I'm going to go from the top and thank you once again for the opportunity.
It's about a phone call.
To share.
Whoever called, whoever
It's
reported,
not about a phone call.
whoever reported Dangerous Daniel is Daniel.
I'll jump in again. It's not about a phone call. Police are looking for Dangerous Daniel. They know his address. They have no images or physical description of him. Kicking in the door, they see a soldier, a trucker, and a firefighter. Without any words being spoken or any investigation, the police immediately arrest the firefighter, certain that he is Dangerous Daniel. How? I'm going to give you a clue in this last sentence I just read. They are certain he is Dangerous Daniel.
Because the other 2 are women.
There it is, MDG! Sexist.
2023, mate.
MDG, spot on. In 2023, we ask you to expand your mind, Kate.
Yeah, by specifically identifying gender and stereotyping it on appearance
I
alone.
wondered if
man.
Daniel was in a dress or if it was his boyfriend at the door.
I mean, yeah, sort of. Yeah, you've thrown in a couple of hot topics, but your mind hasn't really gone to modern times. So I will ask you to bring your 2023 approach next time we do Riddle Time.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
We need to talk about this guy down in Canberra. Now, this was at the end of last year, and he's just been sentenced. He's going to spend a couple of months in jail. Canberra man, and he's bought one of those electric scooters that gets up to 100 kilometres per hour.
Right, he's moving.
How dangerous is that? Now, he was busted on the side of the road down in Canberra going to work. and two cops on motorbikes have pulled him over. Mate, over you come. So he's slowed down, he's pulled off to the side of the road, and he's gone down an embankment, and then he's gone down onto a path where bike riders and walkers go to walk into the city of Canberra.
A lot of people buy these scooters if they've lost their licence.
Yeah.
Got done, guys. DUI.
So he's gone down this embankment. The cops have caught up to him again. They've got down there, got onto the path, caught up to him again. He slowed down again and said, look, you've got me. Then he's taken off again. He's taken off about 5 times. He's getting up to 100 kilometres per hour. There's people walking and on bikes, on push bikes, going past him.
With 2 motorbikes chasing him.
The cops are going, pull over. Yeah. He's refusing to pull over. They finally get him. They sort of push him off to the side of the road, comes off his scooter, then he gets back up to get going again, and they hold him down. And this is the first thing that happens.
You crashed into my bike. I didn't mean to crash into your bike, sir. Why didn't you just stop? Because I don't want to... I'm late, man.
He's late.
I'm late.
Now, I don't know if the old late excuse, you can get away with that anymore. He was late for work.
I mean, what a commitment. What an employee.
Well, this is the thing. When you are late for work and you've had a couple of warnings, you got to get there.
I got a warning at work the other day, and I don't want to stuff it up. Well, now you're under arrest. Under arrest? Yes. Failed to stop for police. So I'm sorry. We'll be going to the watch house. Mate. Please, it's Christmas and that.
It's Christmas. No. He's throwing everything
I
out
would have done that one. It's Christmas. Where's your spirit, mate?
And lovely manners. He's saying, I'm sorry, I'm late for work. I've had a couple of warnings. It's Christmas. I mean, what else could you throw out there?
Put your hands behind your back. Mate. Put your hands behind your back. Oh, man, it's Friday.
It's Friday.
It's Friday. Yeah.
Well,
thank God it's Friday.
It's Friday. Coming into Christmas.
Come on, fellas.
Let him go.
The pub test says he's innocent.
James Cole's his name. The other thing as well, though, he had a heap of marijuana in his system, so he has been done. He's in jail.
But it's Friday.
It's Friday. It's Christmas. I'm sorry, sir. Had a couple of warnings at work.
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.